Recording. Hey there, fellow watchers. It's that time of the week again, born to watch. Growing up on the northern beaches of Sydney and not being a surfer was tough. I lived vicariously through my fellow co-hosts as they headed outside to carve the crystal cylinders. It was one afternoon, they'd been surfing, and they came home and introduced me to North Shore. It certainly changed my life. Whilst I never rode a board, I watched my fair share of surf movies in my time. But this was something different. Revisiting this in 2023 made me confirm what I thought of this movie then, but was scared to say for fear of repercussions from the local black short-wearing surf gang. Let's wax up the 20 and buy a one-way ticket to North Shore. G-Man, how are you, mate?
Hi. Howdy to you too. I'm looking forward to this review. Yes, 87. Plenty of snapback cut downs back in those days.
Absolutely, 100%.
Plenty going on down at Long Reef Way.
100%. Yeah, look, G-Man, I'm pretty sure it was you that introduced me to this movie. And the shoe's on the other foot. I think we've done 80. This is our 83rd movie, and for 82 of them, I introduced you to them.
Pretty much.
And then this one is your one to me. So well done. Joining us in the studio, Damien, how are you?
I'm good. This movie, all I think is Oscar buzz.
Oh, definitely. I can hear the buzz.
I just get the feeling.
I can hear the buzz in the headphone.
Yes.
Well, there's something.
A lot of buzz.
Definitely. And up there on the land, he's back after what we would call a surfing sabbatical. Daniel, how are you, mate?
Mate, I've been on the piss and, I'm ready for a break from myself. And what better way than catch up with you clowns and talk about, I'm not going to premature ejaculate. I mean, what is it? When I adulate, when I talk it up too much. But let's just know that I'm excited.
Yeah, okay, well done. Big Kev was excited too. Okay, boys, 1987, 36 years old, this one, isn't it? I think that's about the math, isn't it?
Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah, I think it's 36.
Yes.
Now, look, I'm going to set... It's a niche film. I'm going to set the overs and unders here at 15. I'm going to start with Gow, because I know this was in the box of VHS that he had. Let me hear it.
It's not a niche for me. No, this was right sitting next to Mad Wax. Whatever else was out at that time. Was Filthy Habits out around then? I don't know. Maybe that was later. I'm over 15 on this, and they were mainly all about 1987, 88, I'd say. Haven't seen it for a long, long time, but it was a great rewatch.
Yeah, okay, excellent. Damo, what about you?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people, they've seen it like 100 times or one time.
Yes.
Yeah.
And to go back a second time is... It could be a tough thing to do, because I know the first time I saw it, I was like, I probably don't want to see it again. But then I did. But this last time I watched it, so I'm on 3, I can actually start to see, it started to actually grow on me, and I was actually laughing a hell of a lot more. And I can see how people could, start actually chalking up the watches. But I am only on 3 is because I did not want to watch this ever again.
Yeah, fair enough. Daniel, another man that I broke my virginity with North Shore with. How are you sitting? Over or under 15, mate?
I have so many questions. First to you, Damo, being a very good surfer and 82 years old, how can you have seen this 3 times? Well, that doesn't make any sense.
Gow mentioned Mad Wax, and I would have seen that 100 times.
Yep.
Totally. But this is in the same pantheon as our illustrious host would say.
Dan.
And to G-Man, sorry, seminal surf flicks, the one that you mentioned is pronounced Filthy Habits.
Yes.
Filthy Habits. It's definitely of French origin, the Billabong flick. I'm way over 15. This was one of my 4 movies that I had on VHS.
That's 4. It's got to be 40.
Yeah. We did watch this a lot of times up at Woodward Street.
Yeah,
on the TAC.
Yeah, for sure.
This was 1987, so many things, and Hawaii is a recurring motif in the life of me and G, which we will revisit.
We'll get to there. Get to there.
Yeah. I can't wait.
There's a lot to talk about.
Well, let's stop there, and I'll tell you that I am under 15. I think I would be under 10. I think I've probably seen this between 8 and 10 times, and probably every single time apart from this one with these 2 clowns, G-Man and Dan. Definitely saw it at Woodward Street. Definitely saw it a few times. Not being a surfer, I could still appreciate some of it. I still appreciate the art form of surfing. Just can't do it myself because I'm quite a miette.
Do you remember your the last time I can remember you partaking in a surf
Yes.
was at Longreef Beach, and it would have been maybe a little later than this, maybe 88, 89, but definitely around that time. And you were on your Tom Moray made Mach 7 bodyboard.
Slick bottom.
I had a 7. I had a Mach 7. I had a Mach 10 as well. Mach 10. Mach 10.
What a quiver.
And mate, exactly. I mean, as far as bodyboards go, you couldn't have done much better at that time.
At the time.
Tom Moray himself. And I remember we were out at Longy bombing. And
On his lid.
On his lid. And it was probably 2-3 foot. Like it was decent. It was a fun sized bomby day. And if you know the surf spot, you know that it does break reasonably far out there. So it's quite a paddle. And I just remember looking around and seeing Matt on his Tom Moray made bodyboard getting further and further and further out to what we would call the German bank stone.
Oh my God.
And he was just drifting and
It was a bit like this movie where they do. You see some of that footage when they're out there and they're about 3 k's offshore.
He's in New Zealand.
Well, look, and in hindsight, that's great white territory.
Yeah.
And I'm lucky to have gotten out alive. I do liken myself to a marker boy. And
You were the Coca-Cola marker boy.
I was the Coca-Cola marker boy.
we call it buoy.
No, but Daniel, the last time I actually surfed was with you. You were trying to teach me to surf on a mal at Monavale. It was when you were living in Monavale, and I tried to learn on one of your mini mals, and it didn't go particularly well. And I then decided that shall be the last time I attempt. I cannot be fucked. And it was only because of my. It was I got to say, my surfing experiences equate very similarly to my early snowboarding experiences, which were shocking.
You overcame that.
I
became a shredder at Threaders before our eyes.
Yeah, look, I did hone my craft.
Blue cow down.
I honed my craft on the slopes of Harafu, and became quite the international snowboarding savant. But Anyway, enough dribble.
I remember fondly.
Enough dribble. I have been known to have some of the best stacks ever on a snowboard and injure myself on day one. But anyway, let's listen to the trailer.
It is a small stretch of coastline as powerful as a man's will. It is the peak, the dream, the ultimate challenge.
All you've talked about since we were 14 is going to the North Shore.
Where legends are born and reputations die.
Well, I'm going to Hawaii to surf the big waves of the North Shore.
Like those before him, Rick Kane cannot resist it.
Welcome to Pipeline. You got any pointers? When the wave breaks here, don't be there. They're always pulling bodies out of the cave. You're dangerous. Why don't you go home?
One woman can give him the courage he needs.
You seem different from the others.
One teacher will show him enough to survive.
You do everything I say to do. You don't question anything. The first time you do, that's it.
A pure surfer goes with the wave. He works with it. You know if Kane's entered in the Pipeline Classic? Nah, Chandler wouldn't like that.
But before he can reach for the triumph, he must prove he is worthy of the struggle.
Why do you hate contests so much?
Bring out the worst in the human animal.
He came to test his skills.
I thought this was everything you wanted.
Well, it was. When I first got here.
Instead, he discovered the difference between conquering a wave and harnessing its soul. This is the North Shore.
You think the movie's amazing? The trailer, it's right up there. It's in the Hall of Fame of trailers. We see all the key players. There's a big Aussie contingent in this movie, which I'm sure we'll get to. But G-Man, why don't you tell us about North Shore?
All right. The tagline, the peak, the dream, the ultimate test. On a small stretch of coastline as powerful as a man's will, Rick Kane came to surf the big waves. He found a woman who could give him the courage, a teacher who would show him how to survive, and a challenge unlike any other.
Wow.
I tell you
That's
what,
deep.
It's the best part of the movie.
That could be the spiel for Rocky.
That 30 words is the best part of the movie.
Yeah.
Look, it's an interesting one. There's no doubt. Critical thinking this week is extremely interesting.
To find a good one?
IMDb, rank North Shore 6.5 out of 10.
That's pretty healthy, I think.
Super.
I think it's
Very
healthy.
light.
I think it's
Very
healthy.
light on.
Okay, but when we get to tomato, Rotten Tomatoes, there is a no score on the tomato meter.
What?
There is a no score
How does
from the
that work?
critics. There is a no
one's
critic score.
actually-
There is no score with an 83% on the audience score.
With really not much to be critical about.
83% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes.
Come on.
Now, there were
Beloved.
4 reviews on Rotten Tomatoes.
Right.
And the bad reviews were just rotten. They didn't say anything. And there were no good reviews from any critics. So I went digging.
Oh.
And I found one.
Research.
Vincent Canby from the New York Times. This is on the movie's release in 1987.
Okay.
The surfing footage is fairly routine until the film's climax. A contest featuring some spectacular shots of surfers seen beneath the overhang of breaking waves. Otherwise, the surfing, riding, direction, and performances are of a caliber to interest only the undiscriminating adolescents.
This guy doesn't know what he's talking about.
This guy knows exactly what he's talking about.
Mate, it's definitely marketed.
That footage was rubbish.
There was some good footage.
Oh my god.
I thought there was some good footage.
In the credits, yep, maybe. But other than that, I struggled to find much in there.
But with the incredible North Shore raw track underneath the footage, it just elevated it somewhat.
Yeah.
Did it not? for you,
How
Damo?
good is North Shore Raw?
Great, gee, man, I knew you'd love it. I knew you loved it. Was that could feature? That
was at the end.
Okay.
In your Never Surrender series. What's it called?
No Retreat, No Surrender.
No Retreat, No Surrender. That could be in that film. It's that good a song.
Yeah, definitely. I'll tell you what, a little bit of Blue Hotel in there as well. Chris Isaac.
All I could think about was the Chris Isaac meme that you sent me, Dan, with the gal farting, and then into I'll Never Fall in Love.
Hitting that note.
Oh.
That was talent.
Very, very good. Okay, now, never more so in 83 episodes has ordinary people meant so much. But here we go, gal. Take it away.
Extraordinary.
This isn't going to take long. All right, let's start with Matt Adler. He had his first movie role in Teen Wolf. Mm-hmm. Yeah, first role, 85. Flight of the Navigator. He played the 16-year-old Jeff in Flight of the Navigator in 86. He was in a movie called Whitewater Summer with Kevin Bacon and Sean Astin.
Whoa.
Did Kevin Bacon get his dick out?
He might have. Oh, it was 87. Was that before his years?
Oh, that was before the Dickersons. The Dickersons come in sort of late
Early
90s,
90s,
late 90s, early 2000s, the Bacon Dickersons.
Mate, he was in Nowhere to Run with David Carradine and Jason Priestley in 89. He was in The Peacemaker in 97, had a small role. And
What, George Clooney?
yeah.
Nicole Kidman? Fuck it hell.
Anyone want to guess his height?
This is it.
What? His
actual height.
His physical height. What do you think?
5'4".
I don't know. I reckon
somewhere around there. He's not tall.
He looked tiny because Oki dwarfed him, and
I saw a photo. They had a reunion photo from like 10 years ago when they all got together, and he's.
I reckon he looks like
he's quite a lot shorter than Gregory Harrison.
5'2". I thought he looked about 5'2".
So it's saying here $1.71 m.
No way.
There is no way he's $1.71 m.
That would make him like
5'7".
I
reckon he'd be 5'7".
Yeah, he could be.
Maybe,
short.
yeah.
That's short. I tell you, he's looking old now. Anyway,
But yeah, look. Apart from that, he's done a lot of voiceover work, Shaggy and Scooby, lots of shows, but not a lot after that movie-wise. Married to Laura San Giacomo.
yeah.
Married to her
And
for
that
20 odd
is
years.
quickly down under.
There you go. Boom.
Well done.
All right, Gregory Harrison. Early TV, he was in Wonder Woman, MASH, Logan's Run. He did 142 episodes of Trapper John MD.
Oh, what a show. What a
He was
show.
Dr. George Gates. He was also in a good Aussie movie, Razorback.
Mate, we talked about Razorback many
Is this
times.
Chandler? Is this the Chandler?
Chandler, yeah.
This is Chandler.
Yeah.
Yeah, he played Carl Winters now, Bill Kerr, Chris Haywood, John Howard.
Okay.
He was in Falcon Crest, did a few episodes of Falcon Crest post this.
With Lorenzo Lama, was he in that?
He might have been. And then after that, he did General Hospital. He's done 100 and odd episodes of General Hospital.
He's a good
recently,
looking-
very recently.
Good looking rooster, Gregory Harrison.
They still got it.
Still got it. He would have slayed 1,000 birds. He would have. I think he's underselling himself in this movie too. He could have gone Keanu style, I reckon.
Oh,
He settled.
He did.
He settled.
He went for an older version of her.
But he settled, I reckon. He could have done better than her.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Nia Peoples. She did a bit of early TV too. She was in General Hospital. She's in TJ Hooker,
Oh, jeez.
Hardcastle and
show.
McCormick.
Oh,
I love all their back catalogues.
yeah, it's amazing.
But Damon, this one would be close to your heart, I reckon. She did the TV series Fame. Oh. She was Nicole Chapman in that. She did 58 odd episodes through the mid 80s.
Wow.
Did she?
Yeah, she was on that.
Wonder if she was a singer,
That was
dancer.
where she's really known from.
I reckon she's a triple threat. She's
She
done
might
it
have
all.
done the lot. Yeah.
She would have done it all.
She would have done the leg warmers, headband.
Oh, definitely.
100%
Definitely.
salt, Stan. 100% salts.
Yeah.
Oh, we don't even need to say it.
Yeah.
She was on Deep Star 6 and lots of TV roles after
Deep
that.
Star 6 is an underrated movie.
Yeah.
Is that? I think that's someone with Treat Williams.
Yes.
And it's actually pretty underrated. It's not bad. It's not bad.
Yeah, Blues Brothers 2000. She did. She's well known for being a Walker Texas Ranger.
Oh, man.
She did about 50 odd episodes of that.
She
in
loved
the
she loved to chuck.
early 2000s.
Yeah.
But more recently, she was in The Young and the Restless, and then Pretty Little Liars in the last few years.
She's still attractive for her age, I
Yeah.
gotta say. She's a good looking woman.
She'd have to only be 50, maybe.
And change.
Maybe
Bit more than that,
mid-50s.
yeah.
Mid-50s.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was 87. She looked like she was about...
She'd be 20.
I think
Yeah.
Matt Adler's was early 60s.
Oh, is he?
So whether she's
Yeah, I
around
reckon
the same
she's
vintage.
Okay,
60s.
All right, and then John Philbin got his start in '84 in Children of the Corn.
Oh, God. He should have stayed in the corn.
He is in Grandview, USA, with Jamie Lee Curtis and Patrick Swayze in '84. Obviously, he was in Point Break as well. You remember him from Point Break?
Yeah.
I don't remember him from Point
Yeah,
Break.
yeah,
He's
really?
one of the baddies. Yeah,
One of the
yeah.
baddies.
He's in
One of the
Patrick
presidents, the
Swayze's gang.
ex-presidents, yeah. Yeah, and then he was also in Tombstone.
Yeah, he's one of the Cowboys.
He's one of the Cowboys
Yeah.
in that, which then gives us our 1 degree of Kurt.
Well done, G-Man.
Do you reckon his voice in this, was it a bunged on sort of Hawaii
Pigeon.
American?
It was Hawaiian Pigeon. He went there early to learn the dialect.
Okay, because it just sounded weird.
Yeah. Well, they sent him over quite early to do that, learn to surf and
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff.
No.
Yeah.
You like it? Yeah. No.
You like it?
Yeah.
Of course, after that, not much else in the cast. But there's quite a few surfers. Obviously, Laird Hamilton stars in the movie.
Yeah.
We've got Jerry Lopez as well. We've got Robbie Page and Mark Occhilupo. Corky Carroll, the announcer.
Yeah.
You've got quick shots of Mark Fu, Derek Hohan, Tiedemann. Ken Bradshaw's in there.
Yep.
Sean Thompson's in there.
Sean Tomo, yep. I even saw a bit of Marvin Foster. There's Aaron Napoleon.
Aaron Napoleon was there.
Yep.
Did I say Christian Fletcher?
Christian Fletcher. He wiped out.
He gets a massive wipe
He
out.
gets
And that's
wiped
it.
out, yeah.
That's it. They drag him to the beach.
Mark Fu?
Yeah.
Mark Fu was in there, yeah.
So what about...
I mean, these guys, like, these weren't guys that we saw down at Longy or wherever. Like, these were surf stars were a bit more far removed. Was my feeling in the 80s. Like they were to think that these guys were this Rick Kane could meet them was quite quite incredible.
Just
at
go
the
to the
time.
arms and Tommy Carroll's
Mate,
hanging there. Yeah.
No one has been kissed on the dick more than Rick Kane.
No. He
Landed on his feet, didn't he?
Mate, anyway, I've got that coming in a minute. Like, fuck it up. G-Man, our budget can't be much.
Oh, come on.
I'm asking a hard
270
question
million.
here.
Look, the budget itself was $4 million.
Whoa.
Film was wrapped up over in a couple of months, but obviously mainly filmed in Hawaii, in Oahu, and a couple other shots. There was obviously the wave pool in Arizona, and then the temple. Yeah, but it only grossed $3.8 million. Opened on 802 screens in '87. Earned $1.3 million its first 3 days, but look, I think the 3.8 is pretty low because it kind of got a
Pizzling?
Well, I'd say it kind of got its
got a pizzling.
kind of got an underground love for it.
Yes.
later on.
Yeah, cult following.
It's a cult following. It's a cult
yeah.
film. There's no doubt. No Academy Awards, no buzz. That buzz is something else, obviously.
Yeah, there'd have to be something.
Mate, quite a lot of nominations didn't get over the line, though.
Yeah,
Which is-
okay.
I don't understand it.
Just
but
an
hey,
honour to be nominated.
Morgs will probably explain that a bit further for us, but anyway. And we've been through, I don't want to go through 87. We've done about 7 movies now in 87.
87 is getting up there, and I think we should probably save that for Hit Sleep or Dud.
Yeah.
Because I think we're going to start to go over some movies that we've
I
done.
was digging deep.
Yeah. We're going to start. So anyway, 1983, Hit Sleep or Dud. We're going to start with Dan Up on the Land there for Hit.
80.
Oh, sorry. 1987, Hit Sleeper Dud. We're going to start with you Up on the Land, Dan. What's your hit for the year?
Yeah, we definitely have gone to this well.
You don't sound very well.
Brilliant
Sorry.
timing.
Been on the piss. We have gone to this well several. Oh, Jesus.
Start again, Borgo.
I can't get well out. Here we go. Yes, we've gone back to this well several times, and I don't know if I've mentioned The Untouchables as my hit previously, but this was definitely in my top 4 back in the day, and loved this film and watched it a hell of a lot when we were around this seminal age of 12, 13, 14.
Yep, great movie.
Yeah, Dan, look, I'll go because my hit is also The Untouchables, Brian De Palma.
Great movie.
Great movie. And yeah, Dan, we watched this a heap around this time. Quality film, still holds up today.
Love the scene where he's lying on his back. Andy Garcia with the gun. He's just holding the gun.
It's, Andy Garcia.
Andy Garcia, it's awesome.
It's the whole movie's excellent. Brian De Palma at his best.
I just want to replay that scene because it is so good. So Kevin Costner says to him, "You got him?" And he says, "Yeah, I got him."
Yeah.
And then Kevin Costner says, "Take him." Bang!
Yeah, it's excellent.
And what about the straightness of Andy Garcia's nose?
Well, I was about to mention that. Very straight nose.
Incredibly straight.
Yes.
One of the straight. And you know, Costner's got a very straight nose too.
Costner's a very attractive man.
Both, yeah. But I'd still have Andy above Costner.
Really?
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Hell yeah.
Costner's
Hell
way,
yeah. No,
way better looking.
What about Yellowstone Costner? No?
No.
He loves an older
Bull
man.
Durham Costner? No?
No.
Okay, G-Man, what's your hit?
Look, I think I put my hit, and I'm pretty sure someone's already taken it. It's The Running Man.
Damo said that
I
the
have
last
said it
time.
before,
Did you?
yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah.
When I saw it, I was like, I think it's been taken.
One of
but
the best.
as we
Felix
hit all
and
these
a
movies,
dud.
yeah, great movie. Great movie.
Whitman Price and a dud.
Damo,
winners.
Damo, what's your hit?
Well, I'm inspired by the new movie, The Marvels.
Why would you be inspired by
because
that?
there's a whole thing where apparently the new baddie is sucking the oxygen out of some planet, which is the exact same storyline from Spaceballs,
Spaceballs.
which came out in 1987.
Great big vacuum.
Yes, big vacuum cleaner that sucked. It blew and sucked.
Blew and sucked. That's
yeah.
it.
So Spaceballs was my hit for
Pizza the Hut.
87. Pizza the Hut. John Candy is Barf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cracker.
Yeah, it's
Lone
very good.
Star.
Lone Star. Yeah, very funny
Daphne
movie.
Zuniga. Wasn't that one of your...
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Gow had a massive crush on Zuniga.
Oh, yeah.
Big time. Big time. He loved a brunette back in the 80s and 90s. Loved him. Took down a few. Okay. My sleeper for the... I think I might have mentioned this before, but I'm not sure if I've mentioned it. The Monster Squad. A young group of monster fanatics attempt to save their hometown from Count Dracula and his monsters. Really good teen sort of movie, a cultish movie. I love it. It's really good fun. It's on Plex if you feel bored and you want to have a watch.
Yep.
All the gamut of the Universal monsters descend
it's
on
not
a
a
town.
cartoon.
No, it's a movie. It's a movie. It's really cool. It's good fun. G-Man?
I've got two quick ones straight up there. First one, Heartbreak Ridge. Watched it not long ago.
Mate, the best
Great
one.
movie. Clint Eastwood, Gunny Highway.
Gunny Highway.
Yeah, Mario Van Peebles. Really
The old
good
Tyler
movie.
Rock and Roller.
Yeah, that's it. But just a great role with Clint Eastwood in that. It's an awesome movie. And the other one I quickly had, as I came across, was Over the Top. Link Hawk. Lincoln Hawk.
Great call.
Winner
You know
takes
what I
the
turned my head
fun.
backwards? I turned my head backwards. It's like a switch goes off in my head.
Gotta take it over the top.
Oh, terrible.
Winner takes it all.
Mate, any movie-
Loser takes the fun.
Any movie that has terrible Terry Funk in there,
Oh, he's a good wrestler.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
Big
His
bicep
son-
on that cover.
biceps,
I remember that cover on the...
His son's a cock. Sly should have kicked him out of his truck. Son was an absolute entitled cock.
There were quite a few actual arm wrestling world champions in the film as well, and it was interesting that they weren't big units; they were wiry little fuckers, just with amazing technique and quite a nice bicep. Yeah,
Fair enough. Dan, roll on. Roll on, Dan. What's your sleeper for the year?
Look, we've talked about it before, but Little Shop of Horrors, obviously,
is he gonna
dear
sing?
to all of
What's he
us. So we might sing. So we might go out with Little Shop of Horrors. But yeah, look, obviously, Gow was the star of our production of Little Shop of Horrors back in high school. Gow, Whitey, and I second leads, and very, very dear to us. I think we were told not to watch the movie because we were meant to have our own rendition of how we wanted to portray our characters. But I think Gow was able to bring something unique to his character anyway, even if he watched it. So it was an excellent portrayal of the tree.
it's a very hard role to fill. But
Audrey too, Daniel. Audrey too.
Yeah.
Morg's outshone even Steve Martin. in his portrayal.
Yeah, Morgs was
the dentist.
Morgs was pretty
Yeah.
incredible.
Outshone him.
Morgs was incredible.
Outshine.
It was good times, and great movie. Well worth a revisit, team.
It's
Go
actually
for it.
quite a good movie, to be honest. It's a good movie.
Like it. Rick Moranis, Steve Martin.
Yep.
Very good.
Yep. Damo, sleeper.
I've gone for a bit of a comedy, fantasy, just a bizarre movie, The Princess Bride. It's an absolute classic.
Yeah. Robin Wright.
Yes, and Carrie Ells and Mandy Patinkin,
God.
Andre the Giant.
Andre, yeah.
It is just just a
How long's
weird,
it been since you've seen it?
Probably about 15 years, I reckon.
Yeah.
But I tried to love this movie.
I never got sucked into the Princess Bride vortex, but when I had the video shop,
Mate.
it was massive, and I tried to watch it. I reckon I lasted 20 minutes. I was
Really?
like, I'm-
No, you just have to watch it on Inigo Montoya.
No,
Mandy
it's Hawk the
Patinkin.
Slayer.
Yeah,
It's dead set
better.
Hawk the Slayer.
It's a bit better. It's another. Well, that's still one of the greats too. But yeah, but I know I love The Princess Bride, and I'll tell you, there's lots of people that love it too.
Yeah, it's hugely popular.
Yeah.
Hugely,
That's a cult movie. That's a cult.
Definitely. Okay, my dud for 1987. It was not easy. House 2, the second story. So, does anyone remember the movie House that had the greatest American hero?
Yeah, that's going to say. Yeah,
it's one of
great. Yeah,
It's one of
we
my
talked about this a bit.
Yeah.
it's one of my all-time favourite guilty pleasures.
Right. Oh,
It's in
okay.
my top 5 list that
Right.
we're going to be recording something shortly.
Yeah.
But the second story is not very good. It doesn't. It sort of goes off on a tangent. It doesn't sort of stick with what was working. And they actually make 4 House movies, and
Did they?
2, 3, and 4 are not great.
So obviously inspired by like Amityville or something like that.
Yeah,
I don't know. But it was the house. It was actually like a haunted house.
Evil House. Yeah.
Evil House.
Yeah. It was a very, very good movie. The first one's great.
Yeah, it was.
The second
Yeah.
one's shit house.
Yeah.
Damo. Dud.
Am I up to me?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Go for it.
I went for Surf Nazis Must Die. It's one of those.
Wash your mouth
It's
out,
when
Damo.
there was
This
there was an earthquake across, or something along the beaches of California, and then it was ruled by the Nazis and the gangs, and it's just one of those ridiculous.
I remember the cover well. The cover of the video well.
Well, I don't know when they make these things, if they're, obviously they're a piss take, but when you're young, you sort of take them seriously. They're like, it's like the Warriors meet the most ridiculous sort of concept ever.
I'm actually not sure how much of a piss take these movies are. Like Morgs, we can go back to Once Upon a Time in what's the Australian documentary? Quentin Tarantino.
What's that called?
Not quite Hollywood.
Not quite Hollywood.
Not quite Hollywood. And mate, as shit as these movies were, they were 100% committed to the art and the craft.
That's incredible.
And I think
This is Troma. This is Troma. That was the studio that brought all of these. There was Class of Nukem High.
Yeah,
there
exactly.
was
Yeah, all that
Combat
shit.
Shock. It was
Yeah.
the Toxic Avengers.
Yes. Well, that was
There
good, Toxic Avenger.
they were all-
Yeah.
yeah. G-Man, what's your dud for the year?
We might have had this one as well, but it was Jaws the Revenge.
Yes.
Now, Chief Brody's widow believes that her
Is
family
this Michael Caine?
It is. Did you know?
Did you know?
Incredible.
It's Lance Guest.
No.
It's Lance Guest from Last Starfighter, yeah.
But yeah, he believes her family is deliberately being targeted by another shark
Deliberately?
in search of revenge.
It swims from Amity all the way to the Caribbean to find her.
Oh, that's a
It's
smart shark.
fucking rubbish.
Literally jumped the shark.
Yeah.
That one.
Mario Van Peebles is
Yeah,
in it
Mario
as well.
Van Peebles in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
from Heartbreak
Yeah,
Ridge.
no good. No good.
No good.
After one of the greatest movies of all time.
Yeah.
Well, it's diminishing returns in that. Jaws 2 isn't bad. The rest of them are pretty shit. Daniel, rounding up, what's your dud?
Yeah. I cannot speak tonight. I'm not sure why. I'm sorry. Give me 2 seconds.
It's a nice bottle, Dan.
It's fuchsia. It's not pink, it's fuchsia.
Fuchsia.
Excellent.
Fucking shit out.
I'm sorry. I cannot believe that the three of you overlooked this, but my disdain for superhero movies may have actually started with
Peace.
Superman 4, The Quest for Peace.
Yeah.
Where the Man of Steel crusades for nuclear disarmament. Lex Luthor. But Lex Luthor's latest creation, Nuclear Man, stands in his way.
it's bad.
Fuck
I
off.
never saw it.
Is Richard Pryor in this one? Or is he in Superman 3? He's in 3, yeah.
He's in 3,
Who's
yeah.
Lex in? Is it still Hackman?
No, it's not Hackman.
okay.
Yeah, Hackman's
Is
in it.
it Hackman?
Yeah, Hackman.
Fuck. I just know the guy's in this beige suit, Nuclear Man. It's like a whitey beige. It looks like Richie Benaud's jacket.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Is it Richard Donner again?
No. He only did the first two. Yeah, well done. Okay, well, that's it for Hit Sleeper Dud for 1987. Well done, gentlemen. We're going to move into question time. Why hasn't there been more surf movies like this? Surf movies are an industry of their own, but legitimate surf movies.
Blue Crush.
Yeah, Blue Crush
Blue Crush did transcend, I think, into mainstream a little more than perhaps this movie did.
Well, Blue Crush really is it's North Shore for girls.
Yeah, with hot chicks instead of Rick Kane. So yeah, at the Endless Summer, the original quasi-doco, was beloved. I think you could say. Gals
Big Wednesday
sitting there chomping at the bit, about to say one of his top fives.
Yeah.
Big Wednesday. But other than that,
Taxi top
don't
2.
know anything else that you can you can think of. From the same time.
Obviously, cinematography is tricky. And obviously
That's
then
true. That's
you've
true.
got, and whereas in this movie, the three main guys, so Turtle, Rick and Chandler, all surfed.
Yep.
So there are elements of them surfing, and then when there's actually shit has to happen, they have the stunt cocks come in and take over. But it must be difficult. There should be more.
William Phelps Point Break's a surfing movie, surely.
Definitely.
Yeah, but they don't do a heap of surfing in it.
No. But see,
No,
surfing's
but they're surfers.
a really niche sport in that, from a worldwide perspective. I mean, only maybe in the 60s did it become sort of really popular. Like, there wasn't a world championship until maybe the 70s.
That's true. There were thousands of surf movies back in the 60s with Gidget and Frankie Avalon. And so that was the Beach Boys, obviously, culture. So that's interesting. So it's probably only our slightly more contemporary eyes that aren't used to seeing it on screen as much as it became more of a subculture. I mean, if you think of us as surfers, we became a little bit more outlaws than probably normal society wanted us to be. And I think that just is reflected in why it wasn't on the screen as much. We were just, we weren't ready to bring our subculture to screen. Would you agree, Damo?
Well, I think if you're going to target the surfing community, they actually want to see just good surfing, and not see some.
They give a shit about the story.
No, and if you got a story then with waves with horrible continuity and whatever, you just go, that's rubbish, and they would just rather go watch the latest Quicksilver 1 hour team video. Something like that. But I think there's elements in this movie that could have been a really good surf movie. I really think that it's kind of not a bad story. There's multiple stories. There's a few layers. It could have been good.
Look, it's a fairly generic story.
Totally. But I think Whitey makes a good point. I think that limitations in ability to do water photography
Well, this is
or you can't do it cheaply. So remember Animal Kingdom, the TV series, they also struggled with this because the lead characters obviously couldn't surf, yet were portrayed as surfers. So all of the water shots that they had with them, they look like fucking kooks because they couldn't do it. So I think that's to find an actor that can actually portray surfing and not look like Alex Rogers, a la Pagey or Oki, who don't exactly act themselves off the screen.
Well, this is the thing. William Phelps, as the director, wanted to bring real surfers in because he didn't want to do green screen and do like a Greg Brady, do the morgues.
That is my favourite. That is my favourite.
Have that kind of thing. So that's why he got real. Like he obviously put some surfers in the movie and they can't act, but
that was Big Wednesday. Big Wednesday had Pete Townsend and that would do William Catt. I can't remember who did Matt Johnson, but they were all actual surfers.
Yes,
for the actual surfing footage.
I think Ken Bradshaw might have been in that one too. Could he do Bear?
No, but Ken was in this. In Point Break.
He was.
I mean, sorry,
North Shore.
Yeah.
Okay, so I alluded to it before, but has anyone been kissed on the dick more than Rick? So he shits the bed at the start, but then everyone just licks him out.
Chandler's family.
Come on, Turtle. He essentially leeches on the Turtle, who is trying to brush him, and he just but he's like a little puppy dog, and then Chandler within 10 seconds, Turtle. Sweep the shit. Rick, come to the
Yeah,
house.
I know. You've got some nice pencils.
Yeah.
Come here. Draw me a logo, and you're in my family. You're in.
Yeah. It's
I can-
incredible.
I can offer a perspective from first-hand experience. So when the G and I went on our travels, a lot of you might know, but Hawaii was actually the staging point, the launching point for our assault on the world. So we actually landed in Oahu.
And I'm pretty
That's
sure
how
on our
locals
first night
pronounce
out, we were at Club Hubba Hubba. I'm pretty sure.
it. We were.
I think that's where we ended up. I know we ended up at
Much
Jack in the
like-
Box late at night.
But before Jack in the Box, we were at Club Hubba Hubba, and we, like Rick Kane, we were befriended by a platoon of Marines from one of the local bases, who decided to take us under their wing. Yeah, true story. And we got absolutely rat-assed with them, and then walked sideways to Jack in the Box, and then discovered the pitfalls of the American plumbing system, how that they have water.
That's when Morgs
actually
discovered they're the half
halfway
full.
up there.
Morgs, I distinctly
very
remember
hard.
walking to Jack in the Box, and we were like walking shoulder to shoulder, like pressed in together, walking along. Holding each
Trying to
other
keep
up.
ourselves up. But yeah, look, they were friendly. You learned very quickly not to spew in their toilets. But no, I think the Hawaiian people were always kind to us on our travels, Jay.
Yeah, it was a great spot. Remember we went to the ball game? We went to University of Hawaii.
Yeah, versus
The Notre Dame. Notre Dame.
Notre Dame, that's right. We saw the Fighting Irish, and we caught up with a friend of the program, Bleecker, fucking.
Geno.
Caught up with Geno. Mate, Geno actually body surfed a wave at Waimea.
Didn't he really die?
Mate, I thought he was gone. I thought he was gone. Like he went over the
Thought he
falls
was
and onto the
pretzeled,
beach,
yeah.
and I was like, oh no, he's gone.
Jeez.
We've lost
It was
him.
about 3 or 4 foot. It was heavy.
We
It was
lost
coming
Geno.
heavy.
We surfed like Rick Kane, Waikiki on 12-foot boards.
Yeah.
That was the start of our board journey. Did not meet Chandler, unfortunately, nor Turtle, nor Alex Rogers, nor
What?
Aki, nor Mark Fu, nor no.
We did go around to Sunset though and see Nicky Wood get hammered on a 12-foot wave. Like there was a comp running then. There was something on at Sunset.
There was.
And he got
It was
absolutely
big and
creamed.
scary. Yeah.
All right. So
We were beloved by the Hawaiian people like Rick Kane. So that was my point. That yes, it is believable when you've experienced it like
Right,
me.
okay, fair
on
enough.
our travels.
We came from the Badlands of Cromer and were able to make a name, in the 4 days we're in Hawaii.
So and that leads me to the next question. So Turtle. Okay, so he leeches on the Turtle. They decide that they're going to go surfing. Rick goes beyond his abilities, wipes out, snaps his board. Turtle's panicking, going, "Oh no, my mate I've known for a day is in the caves." So everything that he says could go wrong goes wrong. Or you got to be careful of the caves. You got to be careful that everything goes wrong, right?
Yep.
So then, as Turtle's like, "Oh shit, I've got to save him. I'll get your boards for you." He gets out of the water, hops on a horse with Kiani, who's just not even met him yet, puts him on the horse.
They met on the stairs.
They met at the party. They met at the party.
Yeah.
And then he's off with Kiani, and Turtle's just left there holding the board.
Yeah.
Surely Turtle goes, "Fuck this guy, you're dead to me."
But he did. No, that was when that's when he first got the shits with him. And then he said something to him when he
Yeah,
came
but
back
he's still.
in.
But again, it's for like 8 seconds, and then he's everything's cool again.
But it was like, too, that the people above the water could see Rick, the trauma he was going through. Oh, he's stuck in the cave. He's under there.
Yes.
No one would have a freaking clue.
Yeah.
So somebody's got wiped out. He'll pop up soon.
He'll be right.
I know. It's like they knew he was stuck. They
stuck.
knew he was getting,
Look at his
worked.
back.
Yeah.
Aloy. What's she called? Aloy. It's
Aloe vera.
aloe. It's
Aloe
aloe,
vera.
bitch. It's not aloy. It's aloe. Right?
Sand dune surgery.
Okay. All right. So this is the last question because I really struggled to get 4. Is Matt Adler the worst acting leading man we've covered to date?
All that we've covered.
Yeah.
In the 83 movies that we have done, he could be the worst actor in any role that we have covered.
Oh not in any roles a stretch, but
Mate, he would have looked
In anything that we've covered,
He would have looked terrible in Roadhouse.
Mate.
He is so bad. He's a shocking actor.
I carved up that wave pool.
Mate,
Smashed it.
I'd forgotten it was a wave pool, and I'm watching. I go, is this filmed in a wave pool?
Shittest wave pool.
What about the guy that does the headstand?
There was
Great.
Do you know what? I think we're underselling his surfing somewhat, because in the footage in Hawaii, he was able to take off natural on a shortboard and come out of the barrel goofy on a Malibu.
Yes.
So that was fucking pretty impressive.
Yeah,
So I don't want you speaking
That's
ill of my mate, Matt Adler.
No, fair enough.
It's hard to refute your claim.
Well,
We'll have to go
his
into the archives.
his career would back up that
It would.
question.
You'd have to go through some of the, like, I can't think of all the movies or anyone that's been that bad.
Mate, no one has stood out in a movie like this guy. In this guy's top of
No.
the.
This is where I disagree. I think it's a fair comparison to other flicks that we've reviewed, but within the confines of this movie, I don't think he stands out as a bad actor. I think
He's not.
well positioned.
He's but again, there's 3 actors in this movie. Or 4 actors in this movie.
yeah.
And
That's it. The rest are they're just, exactly right. All right, I think that's enough. We could go around forever asking ridiculous questions. It's time for the categories. It is the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I'm not sure.
Hang on. Do you do OnlyFans?
Well, have you got any OnlyFans? Because I haven't had. This will be
I've got
good.
an OnlyFans.
Okay, so let's start again. We're going to go born to watch OnlyFans, and I do believe Dan has something for us today. Go for it.
Yes,
will be good.
I've got an OnlyFans for us. Sorry, bear with me.
It's going to end up on the cutting room floor pretty quickly.
You're such a cockhead. Where is it? Oh.
Is this a text you sent to yourself?
Yeah.
I must say it was nice. We unfortunately we had to spend some time in Sydney. The 3 of us. Me and Gow Morgs for a funeral for an old mate of ours from school, so R.I.P. Roddo. And it was nice to see some people that we hadn't seen for 25 years coming up and mentioning the podcast and saying they listen.
Okay,
so
that's cool.
that was quite nice.
Yeah.
Again, Morgs would say niche. But anyway, continue, please.
Sorry, I'm just trying to bring it up. Talk amongst yourselves. Hang on. Okay, I'm ready to go.
When you're ready, Dan.
Okay, hang on.
This better be
All
worth
right,
it.
so now I've got a list out, so I'll just read it verbatim. Hi, guys. Long-time co-host and rare listener. I caught the last Starfighter episode and got to say, that plumber cunt was very entertaining. I don't really give a shit about the movies. I love the wittier sides, and he had some interesting segues that kept me entertained in between Whitey loving the sound of his own voice and wondering why Damo is involved in a movie podcast at all when the cunt has seen so few movies fuck all times. Anyway, please pass on my thanks to Plumber Lickouts and see if he's keen to trade a few hours of tuition in the fine art of film criticism by me in return for nugget duties in my ensuite shitter. Keep up the good work and tell 90s gal, aka the 10 router, that Lauren Hutton called and wants her teeth back.
Long-time co-host, rare listener. Well done, thank you. Appreciate that, Dan.
I wonder who that was.
Excellent feedback.
No one's actually quoted them.
No one knows.
No one's ever quoted themselves on this podcast before, so I wonder if that'll ever happen.
That's not true.
I wonder if that'll ever happen.
Couldn't agree with myself more.
No, actually, we did a whole segment. It was called the Alien Film School for F-Wits. Yes, still going. That's right. It's still going.
Condensation.
Okay, good, bad, ugly. We're going to start with the G for good. Take it away.
I got a little bit. Turtle, he's great. Scene stealer in this movie. He's got all the best one-liners.
He's Randy Watson.
Yeah, it's good.
Seriously.
He brings a bit of lightheartedness to the movie. There's some funny bits still in there. Love the character arc. How he's sort of got a bit of self-doubt about what he can do, and then in the end he comes good. He was great. The other things I like.
Character arc. Fuck it.
Mate,
he does have an arc.
He's got growth.
Agree.
Chandler, not Chandler.
Yeah,
he has growth.
He does have growth. He's the only one
He
that
rips
has growth.
into Burkhardt at the end.
He does.
Yeah.
What are you going to do, snake him?
He's
He's going to stomp your ass.
You tell him to keep out of my way.
I'll tell you what I did also like. Robbie Page's sick pink hot tuna shirt when he wears to the party.
That is good.
Yeah.
That is good. I love the hot tuna. Morgs loved the catch it. You get around in some bright yellow catch it gear.
I did.
Sloan loved
I
the
did.
town and country.
Yeah.
TNC. I had a bit of hot
TNC.
tuna, actually,
Yeah.
to be honest, being the surfer that I was.
Yeah. And the other thing I liked was when they jumped in the car when him and Ockie grabbed him when they're first coming out of Club Hubba Hubba.
God.
The slouchy sling hat that Rob Page has on there. Awesome. I think
It's not
that's
a
what
bad
Morg
hat.
gets around with on the land.
It's kind of Molly Meldrum-ish.
It's a little bit, and it's got the little. You had the little
Yeah.
thing around here, around the chin. I loved it.
So
Man,
up until very recently, Robbie Page owns a surf shop in Crescent Head, just between Kempsey and Crescent Head, and you can actually go in there and riff with Alex Rogers on North Shore. And I think it's an experience that
That is
every
pretty
lover
funny.
of this film needs
Yeah,
to
that's
do.
pretty funny.
He's an absolute legend, and would loves to have a chat about it. So go and do it if you're in the area.
Yeah.
Excellent.
nice, and of course, Club Hubba Hubba. Awesome. Love it.
Oh, my God. What about you? What about you, Dan? What do you got for good?
Yeah, I'll just jump on the back of that. But I think the performances by Laird Hamilton, Ockie, and to a lesser extent Robbie Page, not bad. These guys aren't actors; they are surfers, professional surfers, and they're giving speaking roles and plot points within the film that drive the story along. So they actually have to do a bit of heavy lifting. And Ockie, as beloved as he is, as a national icon, he's not exactly been blessed with the baritone of someone you would normally see in the theatre.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
Alex, come get in the spa. The water's getting cold.
I just watched it and just was filled with nostalgia, and I actually looked at it and thought, because they've been paid out forever by the surfing community, but I think they've had a pretty fucking good shot at it. And I think Lance Burkhart, Laird Hamilton as the villain, is completely fine.
He's quite a cock. He's quite a cock.
Yeah.
He's quite a cock.
Yep.
So I'm going to reverse the script of the last 30 years and say, no, well done, boys. I think you did amazing.
Okay. Well, okay. Fucking hell. That's the first time that's ever been said. Damo.
Yeah, like just the town and country boards of the 80s, and you mentioned hot tuna. Like Robbie Page wore a different hot tuna shirt in every bloody scene.
Just the sick boardies they wore. That was awesome.
Yeah, he had the big hot tuna sponsor on his board. Ockie wore the Billabong gear.
and they all had the body glove.
Body glove
body gloves
wetsuits.
everywhere, wetties everywhere.
One
yeah.
thing I did notice when they went for a surf, Rick Kane was lying on a Varney towel.
Oh, really?
Of course.
You know those
Varney.
sunglasses?
Yeah, sunnies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know if I saw any, but I was just like, oh my God, look at that towel.
I did like also too, Damon, when you think that some of those guys in the wave pool at the start, they had like those diving zip-up jackets with no arms. Awesome. Great surfing apparel.
All those body glove wetsuits, those Victory wetsuits, because Hans Sederman had the Victory gear on too. So I like seeing all that 80s gear and the ball-hugging boardies.
Yeah.
Really tight ones.
Damo, can I just jump on the back of that?
Yep.
So and I'm not big on the socials, but there is an Instagram account called Surf Ads, SURF Ads, ADS, which just literally just has images of great surf ads from back in that time in
brilliant.
the magazines.
Yeah, okay.
Worth a look for exactly what you just described. Just like the fluoro explosion, the ball hugging shorts.
Yep.
Everything you need. It's and hot tuna is very well regarded on that site. So check out Surf Ads.
That's not to be confused with Morgan's own site, Surf Fads, where it details all of his 90s fads, like the foils and windsurfing.
What I find...
Parky did get into the windsurfing.
What I do
Shout out
find
to you,
odd
Parky.
is for someone that professes to not be a creature of social media, yet can tell you exactly where to go and what to see and how to do it.
He's
You're
a
full of
lurker.
shit, Dan.
He's a
You're
lurker.
full of shit.
We're not. Look, it's a common secret that I do lurk on the line sometimes, mainly just to spring the king, Sloan Nixon, when he's out with his new friends all the time and getting photographs. So shout out to you, the new king. 2023 is yours, my friend.
Anything more, Damien?
As I said, the storyline, there's elements of, so this is a guy surfing like in a wave pool, then to go to that massive highest level, which was what happened in The Last Starfighter, which is what happens in Gran Turismo, which kind of what happens in Rocky. The
Godfather. Let's liken this movie to The Godfather. The ascension to power.
Someone is down the bottom of the rung, has a little bit of success, and then all of a sudden, he's out there in the pipeline or classic as they called it, but it was the same thing. It's sort of like, yeah, you're good there, so we're going to put you in this situation and see how you go. But I thought it was kind of, not too bad a storyline. I saw similar elements to that, but I will back up with Morgs. Laird Hamilton was an awesome villain.
He's good.
He was a beast.
He looks the part.
He's just his hair. He just looks like like some Gestapo,
an absolute
evil
dickhead.
villain. Yeah.
He looks like a German surfer.
Yeah.
He's got that robot style as well. He's a little bit
Definitely.
It's I think he was great.
I think, and the final, getting the shuckers from Jerry when Rick walked off the beach. Yeah, just to get the respect. So you got
sorry, I forgot Jerry Lopez. He's great as well.
Yeah.
Jerry's
Vince,
good, and I think it's because
he's very good.
I think because he doesn't say much. It's
Doesn't have to do much.
He just looks.
Yeah.
He's a presence.
He does, and he just he'll sort
Marley.
of you can just tell by his facial expressions what he thinks of Lance Burkhardt or whatever, and he's not saying anything, and he looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
So that's my good.
All right. Oh, God, here we go. The good. The soundtrack.
Oh yeah, but
Has its moments. Its moments. I think the soundtrack is pretty good.
Blue Hotel.
Exactly. Okay, now the original artwork that Rick does is really fucking good. The first drawing that they find in the
one
toolbox that becomes the logo, right?
That he gave to them.
Yeah, that he gave to them. That's amazing. I think that's a beautiful drawing.
Yeah, nice
really
drawing.
well done. And I'm pretty sure it wasn't Matt Adler that did it. And I think they've missed a beat here, though, because Hawaii is one of the most beautiful places on the earth, but we don't see any of it. Right, we see real short snippets of it.
Yeah.
See the ocean. That's it. So, but I think Hawaii, it's a great place. I love the Aussie influence, so that was cool from a nostalgia perspective. Like obviously, Ockie and Robbie Page, and that have it here in the Aussie
soundtrack is just bursting.
Exactly right.
Pseudo Echo,
Gangajang's on there. Yeah.
It's crap. I mean, the Angels are on there. I don't know who does North Shore Raw, but I hope it's an Aussie.
Yeah, but I just think that Aussie influence was cool from a nostalgia perspective for me.
I know, but we were all surfing at that age, and then you didn't have much surfing on TV. Like, you remember you used to have to look at Channel 9 Sports to get the 80-ball bow repairs open, the 2 minutes you get at the end, and you didn't get, like, these days you can just get content from anywhere. Back then you didn't. Unless you had a surf video, you didn't have it. So this is why this thing was on repeat, because there was some sort of surfing action in it.
Yeah, and I agree. I think that Laird Hamilton and Jerry Lopez are really good in their roles, right? I think that they don't have to do a lot. Like obviously Laird Hamilton has to do a lot more than Lopez, but I think I got more to say in the other categories with them as well. But we'll slide into bad, and we'll start with you, Dan, up there on the land. What do you got for bad?
Yeah, look, it's only looking at it, and you touched on it earlier, with trying to make a realistic surf flick. It's very difficult because there are limitations into how you can shoot the film. But looking back on the way the viewer is treated fairly poorly with the surf footage of who's meant to be Rick suddenly surfing natural with his left foot forward, then Goofy with his right foot forward, on different boards on the same wave, on small waves that turn into cavernous pipeline waves. Like I think, and what was interesting was Gregory Harrison was actually a producer on the film as well, and was heavily involved, I guess, in wanting to make it feel authentic. So I don't know if he just got over it at the end, or that's his view of authenticity, or obviously the storytelling took over. But it's a tough watch for someone who loves the sport and loves surfing. It's not tough in the confines of this movie because it's a cult classic, but yeah, they could have done a little better in making the surfers a bit more realistic.
Okay, well done, Damo.
Like Robbie Page's Halloween outfit. With what was that? He had a drawn-on Techstar bikini top, and then the tutu. It was just horrid.
What does he say? Up yours, Yank. Whatever he says.
But yeah, the continuity, that first wave that Rick Kane caught at sunset, he was going on this tiny little left, it turned into a right, and then he pulled off, and he was on a 9-foot Malibu.
Yeah, he's on a massive log.
But did you notice that Malibu that he was on was the second board that Chandler made him take out?
Oh,
So it's just continuity. Right? They've obviously filmed it. Yeah.
They've got this bit of footage here. Let's stick this in.
And it was so bad because you can see that massive mouth sticking out of the water.
Yeah, but Laird Hamilton's a good surfer, but he's a 70s style surfer.
Yeah.
His style,
Yeah.
compare him to Ockie and Derek Ho and Hans Hedemann and even Pagey. I was like, mate, all he was doing
It's
is
pretty
taking off
ugly.
doing a layback.
Yeah, what about
And
the
it's like,
laybacks?
mate,
It's a fair layback.
He wouldn't have lasted 5 seconds. Like he's a good surfer, but he's not pro surfer level. He's not there.
no.
But so I was just looking at him going, mate, he's still. There's guys that surfed in the 80s that still had that 70s style, and Laird is pure 70s style. Sean Thompson had a little bit of 70s style, and MR and Terry Richardson, and you see all these guys back in the 80s that still had it. But then, Carroll and Curran and Ockie and Derek Ho, they had proper 80s styles, and you can just see the
Became a lot more
difference.
power surfing.
And just looked so much more.
I reckon 83,
smoother.
Damo. 83 was when there was the clash.
Yeah.
You started to get the real power surfers versus.
Well,
the
that's when you had
guys, so.
Tom Carroll,
Yeah.
Tom Curran.
And they
Ockie was just hitting it as a young
So they
kid.
progressed, and then some 70s guys stayed 70s, some got a bit 80s, half. But Laird is pure 70s surfer. But my other bit that was ridiculous was Ockie smashing that chair across the guy's back at the Hubba Hubba Bar. Just ridiculous.
But again, needed to be part of the film and was given to Ockie, who's obviously not an actor.
Picked it up to wrestling.
Kudos to him.
Okay. All right. Well done, Damo. G-Man. This will be hard for you.
I will just keep going with that one too. I loved how he smashed it across the back, then they run outside. Their car just happens to get the
Right there.
Oh,
It's right there.
George
Park.
Costanza car spot.
And, the guys at the front fall over themselves
Yeah, I
while they
know.
start the car, and then
It
they
was
get to drive
Keystone
off.
Cops. It was Benny Hill.
Yes. Would you just lob to Hawaii with $500 and not even ring the guy that you were
Mate,
going to go
I've
see?
got-
and
I've got-
turn up.
Fuck.
You haven't even booked a night's accommodation.
no.
Not even one night. You just turn up. And go, I'm sure there's go about this bar.
Mate, he's got his footy bag. That's it. He's just got his footy bag and he's
got a
board
20.
under his arm.
He's got a 20
That's
that
it.
nobody rides in
He's
Hawaii.
got his big belt with his big belt buckle.
Fuck a duck.
And his wallet.
Mate, he hadn't even booked a
And his
night. Had
pencils.
nothing.
No.
Yeah,
His
his
pencils.
pencils, yeah.
I've got that. Don't you ring first. Let the guy know you're coming to stay with him. Fuck
At least a phone
duck.
call. Go, mate, I'm going to be coming there.
Yeah.
Don't come to the Hubba Hubba.
No, don't come to the hubbo. It's because $20 glass of champagne.
It's funny.
The other thing I had was, like Damo hit us before, you've never surfed anything but a 2-foot wave pool, and then you just confidently paddle out
Yeah, I'm
into
going to
10-foot
North Shore.
waves. I'm
Yeah.
like, mate, you got to start paddling out going, oh, hang on.
Yeah.
I can't be out here. Like,
No way.
Yeah.
And there's no way you're paddling out into the wrong section and someone's just going to let you go and do that. Like,
Yeah, just go in the impact zone there, mate.
ridiculous.
Just go
Yeah.
for it. Get worked.
The other one I had was Lance Burkhart's body paint.
Oh, I've got that in ugly.
Yeah, it's no good.
and he's
But his wetsuit pants.
and full long bottom,
Full long bottom pants.
only. Yeah.
I was like, oh, God.
who the hell would wear them out?
Sweaty cags, man.
Absolutely.
Sweaty
And then there was a whole
cags.
group of other guys that run through the scene and they've got body paint.
Yeah,
on
they
too.
do.
Yeah.
There's questions to be asked about that party.
Well, I did like it. The turtle went all the way to the shops to buy a mask and was there for 2 seconds. And Chandler goes, "Go back and sand the board." But then he goes back to Sandy's board and then glass it and gives it to him for the next
Burkhardt.
morning's
Yeah.
surfing.
Well, and in actual fact, the board needs to cure. There's
Yeah,
no way.
for
That board would be
ages.
riddled. You need at least a fair few days to get it to cure. That board would be riddled with foot
Back in those,
marks.
I think it was like 2 weeks.
Yeah,
It was
probably.
Something like
Yeah,
2 weeks.
yeah.
You had to cure the board.
Yeah, to make it go hard.
And yeah,
Well,
he's back
the
to
whole-
sanding it and then glassing it.
Yeah,
Apparently,
here you go. Surf the next day.
The whole time frame in this movie is to be discussed
Yeah.
shortly.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll keep going because keep going. Go to move on.
Okay, it's my go with bad. Take a breath.
This will be a while.
Okay, opening credits. It looks like Miggs is throwing something at the screen, and then they're just throwing the names inside.
Yeah.
Very
It is
80s.
so 80s. And it's almost like Rick Kane designed the opening credits.
Yeah.
Because he did that initial first design for Chandler, which looked like fucking Max Headroom was about to pop out of it. Terrible.
Yeah, that was terrible, that
So, did
design.
anyone else see Lisa, who was handing him the trophy at Arizona Pool, and her hyper mullet?
Yes.
It was fucking disgusting. Lisa, it's 87.
Lisa from Arizona would
Mate.
have a hyper mullet.
Mate, I'm telling
What
you.
about the guy in the crowd that he walks past? He's the big muscly guy. He's got the long blonde hair. Looks a bit like Hulk Hogan. He's got the cut off shirt, tucked into the tight little blue pants, like the little blue stubbies.
Hot.
Oh, mate, it's a cracking.
Arizona's got a lot of questions as well. Rick's mum looks 7 years older than him.
Yeah,
she was young. She's a miserable bitch. No wonder he did no planning to go to Hawaii. He was just like, get me out of here. Right? The time frame of this movie.
He reminds me of Luke Skywalker there. But Mum,
I was going to go to the Tashi Siege because of power converters. But the time frame of this movie, it's like it takes place in 7 days. There's no time frame. Everything is in fast forward. Like, it's almost like he gets there, they sit on the beach because that's how you surf, and you sit on the rocks and you look at the waves and you learn in 4 days how to be a fucking soul surfer.
The only thing that gives it any time is that when he takes different boards out, so you know there's days.
So it's like, so there we go. So there you go. It's 6 days for 6 different boards, and everything happens so fast, right? Everything happens so fast. We've talked about.
Well, he was lucky that he turned into Mike Latronic.
Oh, yes.
He was an average surfer. Then all of a sudden he was out at and he turned into Mike Latronic. You can see it was like, hang on, this guy can surf. And it's when they put in the stunt surfer. So Mike Latronic, as soon as he turned in, it was like, oh, actually, he's surfing really bloody good.
Yeah. Stunt cock.
Look, is Rick the dumbest person on the planet Earth? Like,
most naive, maybe.
Okay, so ignorance is bliss. To a fucking point, Rick. $500, one bag and a surfboard. Don't ring the bike. No idea what you're doing. No idea about anything.
Shit little board.
Mate, seriously. We can push the boundaries of, like, the unbelievable, but it takes planning to go on holiday. I know when Gower Morgs, I've heard only fucking 600 times. There's a lot of planning that goes into these holidays, right? I know when I take a trip, take a trip to Bali, there's some planning. You got to, you got to plan.
Nah, he's just gone.
Fucking
I've got the board. I'm going.
My next trip, I'm just taking a duffel bag and I'm going to take my crayons and
my crayons.
Maybe just drag my old single fin.
Mate,
you probably get to the end of your street and go and hang in the park and then go home.
That's it.
Again, this doesn't sell surfing culture in a great light. No. Like, it makes them out to be wankers. It's a bit like when you join the army and you're supposed to know everything on day one. Otherwise, we're just going to throw you out the front and get shot. Yep. Right? It doesn't sell in right. Surfing in general, okay, I'm not a surfer. Spiritual wank fests do me in, right? The whole soul surfer thing, it was Bodie in Point Break, surfing so, fucking hell, mate.
There are a lot of people
annoys
like
me,
that.
right?
He turns into a bit of Yoda, doesn't he?
He does.
A bit of Yoda.
Chandler becomes Yoda, right? And it's like, come on, mate. And then, isn't it everyone's dream to do what you love and get paid for it?
100%.
Shouldn't you be like trying to?
Your hobby becomes your job.
Exactly right. Like, mate, fuck off, Chandler. Right? You're the best looking rooster in the whole movie.
Yeah.
Give him a break. Let him do what he loves and be paid for it.
You know what Rick Kane needed? He needed to find a Miyagi-Do.
Oh, he did.
He needed to find a Miyagi-Do dojo.
But there would have been plenty over
Get
there.
himself trained up.
He was pretty good with the old fists. He beat up old Dahui, one of them, Jerry's
he beat up Pound
nephew or whatever.
Come on, Vince, let's go pound him.
He got his belt buckled back.
So again, let's stick to the dumbest person on the planet. So he's asking Kiani. She's just told my mother and father are dead. I've got 3 brothers that are under 13. Leave them. Come with me. Come to New York.
Come to New York with my pencils.
Just leave them alone with their Pokeballs. Right? They'll be sweet. Right? Don't worry. They'll be good.
Yeah, it was a bizarre thing. Look, there's no way that this woman would. Why would you go from Hawaii to follow you to New York so you can start drawing?
Mate, it's okay. So the love affair. So
beautiful.
It happens so fast. Then she doesn't want anything to do with him. Then next thing you know,
she was not allowed to.
It's beach lingus.
Yes, that's right. They hooked up.
They are pounding on the beach on a public fucking beach.
Yep.
It
was dark. It was night time.
Right.
Can I just say, I've been witness to your co-host, the G-Man, breaking similar hearts all over the world, where it went from, not quite sure about this guy, I'm a 10, he's some Aussie bloke with small teeth, to next minute is Lingai on snow or on a beach or
in a caravan,
in the grass, on the ass, like...
Oh, please,
Mate, but she liked him. There was the pressure from her family. Oh, Jesus. Yeah.
In a trailer park, like everywhere.
Jesus.
Gow didn't discriminate, that's for sure.
No, he was forbidden. He was forbidden fruit for her.
Well, yeah, I agree. Okay, so then he makes the main event.
Yep.
And everyone thinks
They're
he's
licking him out now.
Oh my God.
But that's
Instantly.
I'll guarantee you that's exactly what would have happened. Guarantee is all of a sudden where you've actually like, oh, hang on, this bloke can surf and he's actually done pretty good. And it's like, yeah, I want to be his mate now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Righto, I'm done. Ugly. Anyone for ugly?
I
got one.
I had all the continuity
Yeah.
gaps. Sorry, I had all the continuity gaps. We talked about them when he's on the Mal. The second board that Chandler puts him on.
Mate, there's the greatest one of all time. I have never seen a continuity fuck up like this. Go.
Well, when Chandler first picks him up and they drive to Chandler's house, there's two surfboards in the back racks of that blue ute that Chandler's driving, and literally the scene changes when they drive up and there's no boards in the back of the car.
It disappeared.
Like, so whoever's editing this movie, surely got to look and go, yeah, that's not going to flow real well. Like, maybe just whack a couple of boards back in there. But just those little ones. When Rick first goes to Chandler's shaping room and Turtle tells him, "Don't touch, brah. It's a fresh hot coat," and then picks the board up, turns it over, and turns it.
Oh my God.
Just little things like that. But anyway,
Mate, hang on. What about the fashion shoot? It's the middle of the night. It's 11 o'clock at night. Then they drive off to freaking Sandlingus, and it's 10 a.m. in the morning.
He's dropping home.
Like, he's in the car, and it's gone from 11 o'clock at night to 10 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah, they did show them under the blanket on the beach for a split second. And so.
Mate, he pulls up in the car before they walk down to the beach to pound them, and then it's the morning.
But this to me is like, we used to laugh at this and the accents and the acting and all of that and the continuity, and that's what makes it kind of endearing. Because it's just so not funny that it's so imperfect that it's actually funny.
Yeah.
And cool, and you're not taking it super seriously.
Okay.
Excellent.
Anyone got anything for ugly? Anyone else?
Yeah, I had an ugly. I don't think that Rick Kane designs were going to light the world on fire. I think that all of his logos were fucking awful, and the last one was the worst of all. So yeah, he was going to be finding alternative employment, methinks.
Canva was making him unemployed. Definitely.
God.
I don't think you can
Complete lack of talent was making him unemployed.
No, but I think that's what they said to him. Are you going to go to that design school? Really? Really? You're going to go?
Shit.
Maybe you should stay here on the North Shore.
Do you want to sweep up for turtle surfboards?
The Oki spa scene. I don't think there's a worse part in the movie.
What about how he's sort of perched on the girl's legs?
Hey, Alex, you going to come in and just...
Come in, the water's getting calm.
That bit was just ridiculous.
He's a bit like Tom Cruise. He's a bit like Tom Cruise. We don't want to see him rooting or anything sexualised. Like, we just want him as to stay in his lane.
He just looks
Oki
so
is one
awkward.
of the world's best surfers. Yeah, I agree.
Just look... But, and the other thing, like Rick Kane getting in the taxi, holding his surfboard and sitting in the... So if you're going to get in the cab, you're not going to actually have your board under your arm still and try and sit in the back seat. But he was. You sort of... It's like, no, maybe...
But then did you see this enough that then they go along the road and the board's like...
Yeah, it's sticking out the window.
Most of it's out the window.
Yeah.
It was like,
If you put the front seat down or you put it... He's actually moving into the seat with the board under his arm. So that just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
That's ugly.
Anyway, that'll do. I could go on forever.
Yeah.
Jans, quick fire. Take it away.
Yes, gentlemen, quick fire time. First and foremost, we'll go with the lookalike, which, as you know, doesn't need to be me, but can be me if it makes you giggle. I saw a bit of Gregory Harrison in myself. I think that we're both aging very well, and we're both kind of got a bit of mystique about us, a bit Yoda-like. But anyone else that you guys saw that reminded you of anyone?
Yep. The first announcer at the Arizona Wave Pool, the big bloke with the the funny suit, and he had the big Larry boots. He looked like Fat Morgs. He did a bit. He's an announcer. Did a bit of announcing work.
Yeah, it's like he's up on the ramp for Nitro Circus.
Yep. Yeah. Definite Morgs
Rest in peace,
vibes.
Fat Morgs. Yeah.
There's a bit of Turtle's hair.
Oh, yeah, I
in
go
you.
turtle, yeah.
There's a bit of Turtle's hair in Dan as well.
And a bit of a conch.
Oh, yeah, actually.
a bit of a conch, yeah.
Actually, yeah. Look, you're a poor man's turtle.
Take a Philbin. Yeah, I'd take a bit of a Philbin.
You are. Yep.
Regis.
Moving on, wax on, wax off for a scene that has passed on into popular culture. Now, for G and I, there's probably several scenes that have passed on into our particular culture, but I don't know that the wider universe has embraced this movie as much as we have. Would you like to prove me wrong, Damo?
Oh, no, definitely. Like Lance Burkhardt is a pretty well-known name.
Yeah,
leg
Lance
rope
Burkhardt
pull.
is, yeah.
And if when the wave breaks here, don't be there.
Yeah.
I see things like that quite regularly.
Yeah.
I mean,
I agree
it's
with that.
hard because I can't see it with any objectivity because it's just been so close to me and G, especially our entire lives. And we, no, Gauston has said that to me 14,000 times. So
Like, and like-
there's,
And then when you
Very
get,
difficult.
every time you get in the car, whatever, we go. All the time.
Seriously, yeah.
Heavy scab, bro. Scar for life for sure.
Yeah. Nothing for me, surprisingly. Shit house.
He's so Harley. He doesn't even know he's Harley.
No, that was pretty funny.
Okay. We'll leave that one. But Philip Stuckey, Jason Alexander in Pretty Woman for the biggest douchebag in this particular movie. So, I mean, Alex and Oki aren't very nice to Rick at the start. Led's obviously a cockhead. Was there the henchman in Vince's gang is obviously a douche as well. But was there
Henchman one?
Anyone? Yeah, henchman one. Was there anyone with a filthy, dirty Sanchez mo on him as well?
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyone
I'd
that stood out to
add
you guys?
one more. Ed, the guy behind the bar.
Actually, you know what? I reckon
he
he's
was a
Dick.
cock.
That's a good call. That's
He
a good
was
call.
a cock, yeah.
I think he's the one because Burkhardt.
Yeah, I agree.
Hey, remember me? Yeah, you got to buy a drink, mate.
Yeah.
And no, don't come here.
Yeah.
It's like, dickhead. Absolute dickhead.
Yeah.
And that's something. Remember in the days when you thought you'd buy a drink, it'd be $20.
Yes.
Everyone's
that's
like,
today.
oh, whoa, yeah.
What, today?
Yeah, welcome.
Yeah,
Good eye into the future there. I reckon he's the pick. I reckon the barman's the pick.
Yeah, he's
a
Good
dick.
one. I'm going to accept that.
Yeah.
Excellent call. Next up, the cast of Caddyshack for a cast member or entire cast and aren't quite sure what movie they're in. Now, tonally, I don't know. I look on it very fondly, so I'm going to defer to you guys here. Whitey, what are your thoughts?
Okay, I've got two. I got Gregory Harrison and Nia Peoples. Because
they were better?
Because they are the only people that look remotely like actors in the whole thing.
Yeah, okay.
They are in a different movie. Everyone else is the Keystone Cops around them, and they're acting their tits off.
Yeah, but I think you can go the opposite way too. Oki was in a category of his own as well.
Oh, for sure,
he
and
was.
that's it.
Down below.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Like Pagey
He had a good crack
was in the
Oki.
middle.
Mate, I think Robbie Page,
Yeah,
he's like Kevin Spacey compared to Oki.
Yeah, I know.
Robbie Page is a dead set multiple Oscar winner.
Yeah.
Put your bag down here. I'm going to get another beer.
Oh, yank. Yeah.
Oh, we love you, Oki. Excellent. I will accept that. Olivia Newton-John, rest in peace. Beautiful Olivia. But renowned on this particular podcast for her cartwheel at the Pepperelli in Greece, which was a particularly poor show of athletic prowess. Tell me, was there anything comparable in North Shore?
Yes, Chandler was a dead set kook.
Oh,
when he's just when they're both on the wave.
When they had the close up for him, he had his
What
legs.
is he doing?
His legs are
What
so
is he
far
doing?
apart. He's in this crouchy stance like a little 5-year-old kid surfs.
And he's
What
waving.
is he
He's
doing?
waving his legs like he's in a running race.
He's a dead set kook. And also in the wave pool, there was a guy that went for a head dip.
Yeah.
Right, like a literal head dip. And it's like, no way. And then there was a goofy footer there, chunky sort of guy who was a dead set kook as well. I just like, man, these guys are shit house.
I'll accept both of those. Gao, anyone to add?
Yeah, Vince's offside that he beats up, mate, a terrible fighter. has to go the full Tom Ho, throw the sand in the face.
Yeah.
Like,
He was
terrible.
dirty.
Try to hit him with the stick. Terrible fighter,
He
mate.
got his belt buckle back,
Yeah.
though.
He did. He earned that.
He got beat up by Rick Kane. He got beat up by Rick Kane.
Arizona state champ.
Is that what was on the belt buckle?
Yeah, it was just this. It was.
So it's like a wrestling belt.
It was. Yeah. It was a Yellowstone. It was Yellowstone. It was like a rounded.
Why was he going to wear that with his catch it boardies?
Damo. It was the original AWA.
Yeah, good
AWA.
Where the real men be. Oh God.
Excellent. I'll accept it all. Robot Centuries for another scene that you would have liked to see in the film that tells us a little bit more about the predicament of Rick Kane and his pals. I don't know. I got a fair sense of everything I needed to know. What about you guys?
I reckon they could have brought the credits 90 minutes further forward. I think that's the only thing I would have liked to have seen.
Oh, you're telegraphing, Matthew. That's horrible. I won't accept that. All right. Last but not least, what is Brad Pitt for the actor you'd most like to crash the custard truck into? There's a few options. Matthew.
Oh, it's Keanu Lingus all the time.
Yep, I'm with you.
Yeah.
We're 100%.
Near people.
She is gorgeous.
Yeah, great
I think it was interesting. I think 87, it's right before the plastic takeoff. There's not a lot. There's no fake boobs in the whole movie.
Yeah, they're all natural.
Yeah.
There is no sills in the whole movie. They're all natural boobs, and she's stunning. Near people are stunning.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
No. Beautiful skin.
Excellent.
Beautiful skin. Porcelain. Porcelain.
Couldn't agree with you more. Well played. That's it. Quickfire. Well done, gents.
Well done, Daniel. Another great quickfire. We're going to slide into listen to this. Now, I don't know if anyone looked at IMDb for any research here. There were 5 things.
Oh, were there?
There were 5 pieces of research on IMDb. I actually tried to go a little bit deeper on a few other areas, but G-Man, let's start with you. Shouldn't take long, this one.
No, there was talk about 10 years ago there being a North Shore 2 coming out. And now this was an interview with John Philbin. So I don't know how much weight to put on it, but it was going to be something around Turtle being a shaper. He's now the shaper. He's the new Chandler.
He's the new bear in Big Wednesday. Yeah.
And John Florence was going to be the surfer coming into it. So he was going to be the son of the pro surfer, and he's surfing on these Chinese boards. But that they're getting back to the soul surfing sort of origins of surfing. So he's getting paid tons of money for these boards, but I don't know if it ever came off. There was no plan for Rick Kane to be in it. He'd been off. He was off in the States doing design. So it never got off the ground, obviously. But that was heard about 10 years ago.
Yeah. Okay. It's pretty funny.
What a shame. One of the great shames.
Yep.
Anything else, G?
No, that'll do.
I just both Robbie Page and Occy have won Pipe Masters. So
Mate, Robbie Page rips. Absolutely.
Robbie Page. Yeah, he only won one CT2 or ASP World Tour event, and that was Pipe. But it was
the Pipe Masters.
It was Pipe Masters, so it was prestigious. But it's if you look at it, it's like a Hawaiian 2-foot. It's probably like my 10-foot, but Occy won in 85, so 2 years before this movie. So he could have said, you won Pipe in absolute maxing out huge Pipe, beat Derek Ho in the final. Derek Ho is a 2-time Pipe winner. But also, shout out. So you mentioned Mark Fu. So Mark Fu and Derek Ho are both dead now. Like Mark Fu died surfing Mavericks in 94 and Derek died in 2020. So the 2 guys that were pretty prominent in the surfing were here. But the other thing I was going to say was they did interview Jerry Lopez. He actually wanted Chandler's part, but they went, no, this guy's... And he went, no, there's no way I can do it. That guy's too good an actor. I can't do it.
Gregory Harrison.
Yeah.
Yoda.
Now, one other thing too, I spoke to a guy once and said, hey, is it pronounced Hawaii or is it pronounced Hawaii? And the guy said to me, it's pronounced Hawaii. And I said, oh, thanks. And he went, you're welcome. I'll be here all week. Oh, God. Boom. Yeah, I'll send myself out.
Wow, that's unbelievable. Okay, look, I've got one. John Milius recommended that they cast Laird Hamilton and Jerry Lopez for the film. So John Milius of Conan fame.
There you go. Jerry Lopez was in Conan.
He was.
He played Super
Tie.
Tie.
He played Super Tie,
Yeah.
So, and he was in Big Wednesday.
Yeah. And also, Nia Peoples wasn't actually cast at the start.
Yeah.
She came in like quite a way into production and had to, with no rehearsals. I don't know how she did it. I don't know how she did it. She got off the plane and was just straight into it.
Yep.
And,
Here's your line.
And actually, there's apparently on the DVD there's some deleted scenes with the actress that
I saw it on YouTube. I did actually see a different girl, and it was a farewell. It wasn't at the airport, and it was a different girl, like nowhere near as good looking as Nia Peoples, and didn't even really look that Hawaiian.
Right.
But obviously they made the right decision. Putting Nia in.
absolutely. Dan, you got anything?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Can't speak ill of it.
And what about quotables, G-Man? You got to. This is you. No one else gets to say anything. It's just Gow. Go for it.
Mate, we've said a lot of them. A lot of the Barnos, Barnyards, all of that. Howley. One I did really like was when Rick and his mate are riding back after he's won the comp, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm going to go see Demo that was over. You remember 6 months ago? He said if I was ever in Hawaii to look him up." And his mate's riding his bike next, and he goes, "Oh, you are in there, Rick."
That's terrible.
Let's go pound him. You took his stuff. You pound him.
Yep.
That's 1,000 times I've heard that one come out of Morgs' mouth.
But what about the
Nobody listens to Turtle. That's probably the most famous one. Nobody listens to Turtle.
The lady in the bar at the beginning. So Rick Kane sitting there with his surfboard under his arm at the bar.
Yeah.
You a surfer? And he went, "Oh, you can tell."
I know, it's the best.
Jeez, mate, you're holding a surfboard
In Hawaii.
Again,
It's
dumbest
ridiculous.
human on the planet.
Yeah, it was just ridiculous.
The dumbest.
But the comebacks, the Lance Burkhart comeback when he was about to walk out for his heat against Rick Kane, Lance Burkhart's walking beside him because Rick's surfing on Lance's board.
Yeah.
Yes.
Remember?
Yeah.
And Lance looks at, "That board looks familiar. What, did you buy it used?" Like, sick burn, Lance. Yeah, mate, it was your board for one day. It's mine now.
No, it wasn't even one day.
Yeah,
three waves. Surfed it for 20 minutes.
3 waves. And then did this.
Yeah, what'd you buy it used? Yeah, he was all shitty paddling in and splashing the water. But that was why Lance was so good. Because he was just such a ridiculous bad guy. Just says stupid things.
Okay, I think that's enough. That's enough. We're charging through now. Film school for F-wits.
There was one thing that this film really opened itself up for, and that was to compare and contrast with the Clive Owen film Croupier from 1988. So whilst they're two films that belong to different genres and capture diverse themes, they share commonalities in their exploration of personal growth and self-discovery. So in setting a genre, first and foremost, the films differ significantly in terms of setting and genre, but North Shore is a classic sports drama centered around surfing, set against the backdrop of the vibrant Hawaiian North Shore. And in contrast, Croupier is a neo-noir thriller set in the casinos of London, focusing on the life of a struggling writer-turned-casino dealer.
The similarities are incredible.
While North Shore
Was it the same writer?
the audience in the sun-soaked beaches and the exhilarating world of surfing, Croupier unfolds in the dimly lit, suspenseful atmosphere of the casino. And yet, despite their differing genres and settings, both films explore the theme of self-discovery. In North Shore, the protagonist, Rick Kane, undergoes a coming-of-age journey as he navigates the unfamiliar waters of the North Shore surfing community. And the film portrays his transformation from an outsider to an accepted member of the local surf culture. On the other hand, Croupier follows Jack Manfred, played by Clive Owen, whose foray into the world of casinos becomes a journey of self-discovery and moral ambiguity. Both characters grapple with their identities and values, evolving throughout the narratives. The films also differ in their approach to cultural exploration. North Shore delves into the clash between mainland and Hawaiian culture, emphasising the significance of respect, tradition, and community in the surfing world. In contrast, Croupier explores the subculture of the casino, revealing the intricacies of the gambling world and the characters who inhabit it. The cultural exploration in each film contributes to the richness of their respective narratives. Yet the tonal differences and the tone of the two films is another contrasting element, surprisingly. North Shore exudes a more uplifting and inspirational vibe, driven by the picturesque scenery, the camaraderie among the surfers, and the pursuit of personal dreams. In contrast, Croupier takes on a more atmospheric and brooding tone with a sense of suspense and moral ambiguity prevalent throughout the film. The contrast in tone reflects the different genres and thematic focuses of the movies. And character dynamics, while both films feature compelling character dynamics, the nature of these relationships differs. The North Shore emphasises the mentor-mentee relationship, particularly between Rick and the experienced surfers, Chandler and Turtle. And the mentorship contributes to Rick's growth and integration into the surfing community. Yet in Croupier, interpersonal relationships are characterised by deception and manipulation, as Jack navigates the complexities of the casino world, blurring the lines between reality and fiction. In conclusion, North Shore and Croupier may belong to different genres and explore distinct worlds, but they converge in their thematic emphasis on self-discovery and personal growth. Whether riding the waves in Hawaii or dealing cards in a London casino, both films invite audiences to reflect on the complexities of identity, culture, and the journey to finding oneself in the midst of a challenging circumstance. The juxtaposition of these films showcases the diversity within the realm of cinema and the various ways filmmakers like me can tackle universal themes. Thank you. That is Film School for Fuckwits.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Nice.
That was
Great contrast.
apples and oranges.
Never before have the movies North Shore and Croupier been critiqued in the same.
If I had
in
$1
the same
for
breath.
everyone that compared Croupier and North Shore, shit, I'd have $1 now.
I'd like to also.
It's obvious when you think about it.
It is.
Yeah.
Slaps you right in the face.
I'd also like to shout
like a
out.
sandwich
I'd also
slap.
like to shout out to our new sponsor, ChatGPT.
I've been accused of that previously by.
Yes, I've accused you.
Yes,
I've
no,
accused you.
didn't Strangle suggested that?
Yeah, Strangle did suggest it. He did. He said that. Was that done by ChatGPT? I don't believe it was. Daniel, I think you are.
No, thank you.
You are a
Thank you.
Hemingway.
I'm a savant.
You're a Hemingway.
Yeah.
Excellent thesis, Morgs.
Yeah, well done, Daniel. Look,
we go.
after that, we're going to bring it back up with Sternbush, kick-ass credit song. Damo is in the house. He's got the mic, and it's time to take it away, pal.
Yeah, look, this is going to be a bit difficult because of you guys, because I'm trying to come up with a serious song, and I know what you guys are like. You're juvenile delinquents. Your mind's in the gutter. You're always thinking dirty things, right? You're always going to get, like it's some sort of sexual thing or something. I know what you like, right? So just try and park that, okay? So the song's called Pull My Leash. All right? So, all right. I just got to get my tune in my head.
I've been looking forward to this all week, I must say, Damo.
Right.
So thank you.
Okay, all right.
He's actually playing the bass.
Yeah, no, I've got
air bass. He's air bassing.
Okay, all right. He's the Arizona wave pool champion. Arriving in Hawaii, he's packed the twin fin in. He's not gonna join Aki in the spa cause his acting is so terrible. Off to the party with Turtle and Lance Burkhardt is Mr. Cool. Keanu meets Rick on the stairs, but this hell is so hurly. He's just a kook, what's he doing? The Whoies have sent him home. It's night time, Keanu and Rick sleep on the beach. Under the blanket, she pulls Rick's leash. Pipeline classic, the crowd screech. The final wave, Lance pulls Rick's leash. Everyone's pulling Rick's leash. Pulling in, tugging on Rick's leash. Pull it, tug it, Rick's leash. Pull, tug, Rick's leash. Stroking and tugging on Rick's leash. Truck stop, tug off Rick's leash. Rick sticks his leash in a glory hole. Pull, tug, Rick's leash. It's a song about a leg rope. It's about a leg rope. Pull,
Tug, Rick's leash.
We can sing it
There
out.
was some very questionable rhyming and elongating of vowels at the start, but you brought it home beautifully. Oh, well played.
Yeah,
well
so
played.
make sure that you get your mind out of the gutter. It was a song about a leg rope, nothing else.
I think that song might be in my head on the way home.
Pull, tug, Rick's leash. Pulling and tugging and...
Fucking
Well
hell.
played. Well
I think we should sing that one
Well
out.
done, Damo.
Sing that out, you reckon?
Yeah, definitely sing it out. We'll definitely sing it out. Okay, star of the show could be one of the most difficult discussions we've had. We're going to start with Daniel up there on the land. Give us your star of the show, mate.
It's a three-way tie for me for the Surfers, for Laird Hamilton, for Ockie, and for Robbie Page, for being the butt of jokes for the last 30 years. But upon review of this amazing cult classic, I'm saying, no, fuck that. I think they did a fine job and were able to convey their parts well. Well done, boys. Especially Laird, it must be said, but the other two just give me endless joy on the rewatch. So thank you.
G-Man.
I'd like to give it to the overall movie because it's such a cult classic, but I'm going to give it to Turtle.
Oh, my God.
Great one-liners,
Yeah.
good stuff in there.
Character arc.
Lots of quotables, lots of Turtle quotables. He gets all the best lines in the movie, I think. Yeah, I'm going to give it to Turtle.
Damo.
Yeah, I'm going for Lance Burkhart. I'm going for Laird Hamilton
love
as
a
well.
baddie.
Just love the baddies. He's a good baddie. He was a cyborg.
You'd love the
human.
body paint.
In the body paint and those long wetsuit pants and, yep.
I'm going for Chandler, Gregory Harrison.
Yep.
He's the only guy that can actually act in the movie. Plus, if Nia Peoples wasn't in the movie, he'd probably be my Brad Pitt because he's quite rootable.
Jeez.
He's a good-looking rooster.
Good-looking rooster. Well worth a side dick.
That
would
could have
think.
been an additional scene.
Well, there we go.
That was a robot century for us. There we go.
Definitely. So we've covered all the bases there in Star of the Show. Okay, look, North Shore, it's a movie. Now let's move into the rank bank. Let's move into the rank bank. And I've got a few things to pick here, and I'm sure I'll get thrown a few other things. So tonight we've got Howleys.
Yeah, I think that's a good one.
We've got Arizona State Champions.
That's a good one too.
We've got leg rope pulls.
Pulled leashes.
Pulled leashes.
Could be pulled leashes.
Could it be rip, pull, pulls?
Rip, pull, leash. Okay, so one for Dan. I've got DBL, Day Beach Linguist. And then I've got Soul Surfers. So anything tickle the fancy here?
I like a pulled leash.
I think we go with
At
pulled.
night, especially at night.
Yeah. Let's go with the pulled leash. So we're going to start.
Look, a special congratulations on Day Beach Linguist, though. So I enjoyed that.
I thought you might have DBL just for you, Dan. But we're going to go with pulled leashes. So, Damo, how many pulled leashes are you giving North Shore?
Well, I did enjoy this far more than the first two times that I saw the movie.
Yeah.
Like, far more. But the cringe factor is too high.
Yeah.
It's just too high to give it a high score. But I actually don't mind it. And I think, geez, it could have been a much better movie because I think it had a decent storyline and it wasn't too bad, you know. So I'm going to give it a 2.75.
2 points. Well, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
2.75
Jeez.
pulled leashes for Damo. Daniel, take it away. How many pulled leashes, mate?
Yeah. Damo, I'm going to have to refute that. This film gave me so much joy. With my brain that has been pickled over years of abuse, I was still able to quote it verbatim the whole way through and think about Gow's head quoting it back at me for a long time. I'm giving it 4 pulled leashes just because of the joy it gave me and how fond
It's
I am
about
of this
entertainment.
film.
Yep, I agree. Yep.
It's it's
Wow,
a
Daniel.
strong 4 for me. Yeah.
That's incredible. I'm blown away by that. I'm blown away. Daniel,
This got more than Rambo for Morgs.
Oh, of course.
The first blood, yeah.
Watch this in Rambo, yeah.
mate, you gave it the same score as The Shining.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah,
and-
it gives me as much pleasure.
And you gave it more You gave the Karate Kid 3.25 pig face lick outs, and you've given North Shore 4 pulled leashes. You're incredible.
I think if I had to watch a film every year again out of Karate Kid and North Shore, I think I'd choose North Shore.
Okay.
So, yeah, there you go.
I love it. I love it.
I stand
Now,
by my
let's do the drum roll. The one we've all been waiting for. G-Man, take it away.
I rewatched this and haven't seen it for a long time, and it was just as enjoyable as it's always been.
Wow.
It's funny. It's just slapstick, really, isn't it? But it's an easy watch. It's 96 minutes of
Shit.
just an old. So look, I'm going to give this 2.75.
What? 2.75. Wow.
And it gets a whole full point for the nostalgia factor.
Oh,
It's a
right.
3.75.
But wait, there's more. Yeah, old steak knives technique. Yeah.
Well done, Gow. I was a bit concerned there, but look, I'm not a surfer. I'll apologise first, but I do like surfing. I appreciate the craft. I gave Can't Buy Me Love 1 because it is the shittest movie that we have seen.
Go and wash your mouth out with soap.
And I know we're talking here to the president of the Can't Buy Me Love fan club.
That's a 4, that movie.
Now, it's not a 1 movie. And it could be twice as good as Can't Buy Me Love. And I did enjoy this a lot more than Can't Buy Me Love. This gets 2 pulled leashes for me. 2.
Okay.
And I'm stretching to give it that.
Yeah, I can see. As I said, people have seen it 100 times or one time. The people that have seen it 1 would give it a 4+. People have seen it, 1 would give it anywhere between 0 and 1.
Yeah.
People have seen it 100 times. But like I said, I reckon if I watch this another couple of times, my scores might go up.
It might, and this is the thing. I'm not condoning this.
Yeah.
I think that there'll be a time again where I watch this movie again.
Yeah.
If for no other reason than just to pick on it. But it gets 2 for me today. Now, G-Man.
So this puts us at 3.13 pulled leashes.
Yes.
Now, that puts it right below 3.17 American Werewolf in London, See You Next Wednesdays, and equal with When Harry Met Sally, Sheldon the Wonder Schlongs. It's above Rock and Roller at 3.08 Incredibly Awkward Dance Scenes. It's above Lost Boys, Last Starfighter, Goonies, Behind Enemy Lines. So it brings it in to...
I'm happy where it's sitting.
Into spot number 69.
Okay. I'm going to take umbrage with you guys. Are you telling me North Shore's a better movie than Lost Boys?
Yeah, I'd struggle with that.
Are you telling me it's a better movie than The Last Starfighter? Are you telling me it's a better movie than The Goonies? Yep. Are you telling me it's a better movie than Behind Enemy Lines?
Yes.
Are you telling me it's a better movie than Pretty Woman?
No.
Yes.
Are you telling me it's a better movie than Bloodsport?
Yes.
It's got some nostalgia factor, mate.
You got a panel of 4 here, and there was quite a range.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm happy
was
to
quite
run
a
with it. Look,
range.
the people have spoken, and I knew it wasn't going to end well when we didn't choose Day Beach Lingus. So anyway,
I'll tell you what, though. Just having a look here, I love that the symbols we use, we've used here. I think sandwich slaps is still my favourite. Vacation sandwich slaps is the best.
It is, because it's the best dance scene choreography in any movie ever.
Yeah, it is. Have you gone? It's funny, people. We're going to have to release the rank bank, so that people can actually see where this is going. So I'm figuring out a way that we can actually get it. We're actually in the middle of actually building a website, so there'll be a page for the rank bank. But there are some very funny category rank banks here that we've used, and to go back over it should be a lot of fun.
Yep.
Okay, now if you like this, then God forbid, what are you going to like, G-Man?
I'll tell you what I had here. I was looking around thinking movies like this. I came up with a cracker of an 86 movie, Youngblood.
Yeah, okay.
Now, a 17-year-old farm boy gets a hockey tryout. He gets driven to Canada, and he has to learn to use his fists, and has to learn the hard way. So it's a similar storyline. Arguably a better movie, but
arguably. And so, what would be the category for that? Would it be sweaty love scenes, or would it be coach rooting hockey players? Coach daughter rooting hockey players.
Probably.
Yeah,
Could be that.
could be that. Youngblood's way better than North Shore. It's a
Well,
cracker.
we'll see where it ends up when we eventually do it.
It'll be way above. Daniel, if you like this.
Yeah, I was going to say Mad Wax, the cult Aussie film, because if you took out Gregory Harrison and Nia Peoples, North Shore would be Mad Wax because it would just be surfers acting, and that would be the quality you would get, and I'd still love it. So, yeah, if you love surfing, go back and check out 1987's Mad Wax.
How good. We want to go to Hawaii.
Damo.
Oh, look, just stick to a surf movie. If you want a good surf movie, Big Wednesday is probably the best.
Yeah. Oh,
Definitely the best.
Yeah.
The best surf
Big
movie.
Wednesday is the best.
Yeah,
surf
it is the
movie.
best surf movie.
And I'm going to double up with you. Look, I had Blue Crush down here, which is just a female version of this, but Soul Surfer's not bad either. If you're looking for a surf movie.
When you mentioned Blue Crush, we talked about technical advancements or not. The CGI they do of putting the girl's head onto actual surfers hasn't aged very well.
No,
at
it
all.
hasn't.
So
It hasn't.
It's. I think you would find on a revisit that it wouldn't. That would grate a little, but yeah, it's definitely similar.
Okay, well done, gentlemen. That is it for North Shore. We move on. We follow the swell. And where are we going next week? We're going to Vegas. We're going from the beach to the sand. Oh, there we go. We're going from the surf to the sand. Beach to the sand.
Same thing.
I don't know. It's late.
Sand to the desert.
What the fuck? What the fuck? I flip you. I flip you for real. I flip you for real.
What the fuck?
So next week, we're looking for Doug. Daniel's got a week off.
Oh!
And we're going to be watching the movie that Dan's been nursing for about the last 5 days, The Hangover. Right.
So next week, Morgs will be a one-man wolf pack. He's not in.
Morgs will be a one-man wolf pack. It should be a lot of fun, that. It's an interesting movie. It divides people. Not sure how well it's aged in our new woke universe, but... The birth of Bradley Cooper. Yeah, there's some very, very funny bits. Looking forward to it. Damo, you'll be here?
I'll be here.
And then you're pissing off for a bit of
And
time?
I'm going. Yes, I'm going to Hawaii.
You're going to WatchCon?
I'm going to LA, and then I'm going to North Shore to check out Turtle.
Yeah.
Please say hi
Look
to
up
us.
Rick and Kiani, see if they're still together.
Yeah, see where they are now.
Check the beach. Check the beach. You might see some leash pulling going on
Yeah,
live.
there'll be a lot of that.
G-Man, we've watched The Hangover together quite a few times.
Yeah, we have. Yep. This will be a good dissection.
Should be fun. Daniel, enjoy the week off.
Thank you. Good to see you all, gentlemen. I will see you in a couple of weeks. I will hope to not drink as much piss in the ensuing weeks.
Yeah, you can't promise anything, but you'll hope. People, it's been a pleasure. Don't forget, share to your friends, share to your enemies. We want more people along for the ride. If you're looking to see what we look like in the flesh, check us out on YouTube. We are pumping. But that's it from us on the North Shore, and we'll see you next week for The Hangover. Bye for now.
See ya. Everyone's pulling Rick's leash.
Rick's leash.
Pulling and tugging on
Rick's leash.
Rick's
Pull
leash.
it, tug it.
Rick's leash.
Rick's
Pull,
leash.
pull, tug, tug.
Rick's leash.
Rick's
Stroking and
leash.
tugging on.
Rick's leash.
Rick's
Truck stop,
leash.
tug off.
Rick's leash.
Rick's leash.
Truck stop, tug off Rick's leash.